Hot shit.
Beat right there. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. Hopefully you guys all had a wonderful Thursday. I mean, the markets didn't really do too much for the most part. QQQ was near the all-time high in pre-market. We played around with the all-time high. We kind of got above it. But the pullback on the QQQ later on in the day was a little sad to watch. But the S&P 500 at least did a little bit something. It stayed above the previous all-time high. Didn't really pull back all of the way. So all of this has me wondering, the question that you guys see in the thumbnail, is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday? Now, you know how we always ask for free fall Fridays, but very rarely do we get those gifts. But I think tomorrow maybe we see a setup for free fall Friday. If not, then let's see an absolute rip our faces off Friday, because I want to see some action. I don't want to just sit there, watch the market do nothing for most of the day, a boring market. But thankfully, market did nothing for the open, because our brokers' executions actually went down. We were not able to trade on our prop platform, so we were just sitting there off the open for a little bit doing nothing. We got our executions back around 1 p.m. and thankfully Reddit hadn't opened yet, and Reddit opened after 1 p.m. That was a little heaven sent of a gift on the IPO, that we were able to fix our execution in time for that. And that gave me a pretty good opportunity to make some money on the day. So yeah, nice little green day back again. The red streak has ended. It ends with one red day. So right back to the green day streak. Let's see if tomorrow we can end the day on green too, and end this another week on a nice little green day, green week, sorry. That'll be 3 straight weeks in a row in the green now. So that'll be a monster win streak that will be on. And next week, a little short week, sadly, because Friday we have the markets off with Good Friday. So next week, short week, and the last week of March. Very, very exciting week, however. At least going into tomorrow, we got pretty good, exciting trade opportunities. That's what we're going to be talking about going forward for the rest of the stream. Maybe even watch a YouTube video if we have enough time to learn a little bit more from that 90s guy that died Dieter and Ani always keep making fun of. Let's see who's in the chat at the moment. We got Doom, Dieter, Think with Bookmap, TH, Barky, Corey, Swimmer, all in the chat. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How you guys doing? Let me know how your days went. Put those ones in the chat if you went green, twos in the chat if you went red, threes in the chat if you didn't trade at all. Put your days in the chat. Let me see how my chat did, how my amazing community. Obviously, I'm expecting a lot of ones. You guys must have killed it today. Doomlord saying thumbnail disappointing. I mean, I put in a lot of work for this one, so F you, Doom. F you. At least Alex likes it, and I think Dieter is saying that I actually won the 90s guys thumbnail. Yeah, 90s guy thumbnail. I mean, I don't know if I want to do that, but yeah, stop bullying that kid. You guys are mean. We got Momo in the house, 1 and 2. I was green, went red, ended break even on Reddit. Okay, at least you broke even. So you were basically 1 and 2, like you put it. Reddit came through with a monster opportunity today. So obviously we're going to talk a little bit about that. Maybe we see some trading opportunities tomorrow on Reddit. So we'll 100% keep that one on the watch list going forward into the final day of this week. Got caught up in the move down afternoon on Reddit. Yeah, that move down was a little hurty. I gave away most of my profits on the opening drive up, and I was forcing that long. That move back down was a little hurty, but then eventually later on, all the way at the bottom, I think near the lower days on the stock, actually was able to pick up a nice little long, and that helped me pick that up. Oh, you're talking about NQ. I apologize for that one. I did see the NQ make that move too, so I can understand exactly what you got caught up in. But we got another day tomorrow, and if you are somebody who likes to go shorts, maybe we got Free Fall Friday setting up tomorrow. We can have some fun rolling the dice over there to the short side. You guys know how much I love to be a short. We got Ani in the house. What's up, Ani? Dieter, Clowny. Yeah, Dieter, that's actually what I have her named now in my Discord. I have her named Clowny. Pratt told me not to buy. She's lying. I told her if she wants to buy Reddit, she can buy it right off the level that's right there. But no. Zamzam, I actually know who you are now, Zamzam. I figured you out. Fuck, I forgot your name. Rio? I don't know. I figured you out. Dieter and Ani over here having a little fun time with themselves. TH putting a 1. I like it. TH, like always green. TH, let's go. Keep that green streak alive, baby. I love to see it. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen? My stomach's burning because I ate some spicy chips. Ooh, that stomach's burning. All right, let me get the board ready over here. We'll start with I mean to turn off the transition. My apologies on that one. Turn off the transition, and also turn off those lower thirds. Give me a second, chat. Some of these lower thirds got turned on by mistake. Let me turn those bad boys off. And bang. Okay, earnings boards for tomorrow, or basically tonight after hours, because Friday there's no earnings that's important, or at least zero earnings from what I see at the moment. This board usually only puts a minimum market cap stocks up here, or important stocks. Maybe there are stocks reporting on Friday, just nothing that's really important for us to take a look at. But however, today after hours, Nike, Lululemon, FedEx, and those are the 3 big companies we're going to keep a watch on. ACN made a pretty good move to the downside today off of earnings. Micron, we talked about Micron quite a bit yesterday on the show for any trades. Micron moved quite a bit today. Didn't get an opportunity to trade that because my executions were down, so that sucked. But overall, lots of good opportunities hopefully setting up on Micron, on Guess, on Nike, Lululemon, and FedEx. Those are the earning stocks on the board for tomorrow. And then the IPO stocks, that's Reddit and A-Lab making some monster moves again to the upside. Today I think I saw the stock at some point at $70. I mean, the stock IPO'd at 50. I mean, the stock was supposed to open at 30, repriced to 50, went to $70 in day 2, so it's pretty insane. Reddit was supposed to open at $34, or at least got priced in at $34. Open around, if I remember, $47 or so, if I remember accurately. I think 47, 45 or something it opened at, and then it went as high as what, 52, 53, something crazy. So you can clearly see that these two stocks were very much loved, very much hyped up, and the hype did bring in the volume and the trading opportunities behind it, even on day 2 for A-Lab, and Reddit being just that much more of a loved product on the market. At least we think it will be. It should keep giving us some opportunities for the next few days. So I'm gonna watch Reddit like a hawk tomorrow all day, along with these earning stocks that are on the watch list. Some of the other stocks that we love taking a look at, such as the cryptocurrency baskets, the other tech stocks such as Dell making another monster move today, and the semiconductor industry, along with the Magnificent Seven. And that's basically that watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. But like I said, I honestly only care about mainly Nike, Lululemon, FedEx, Micron, Reddit, and then the rest of them are just like bonus plays. So those are the main stocks that we're gonna kind of brush around, talk around, see if we can find some plays, and then maybe we'll watch a YouTube video with that 90s guy that you guys love so badly and learn something new from him. Johnny Dundee, 16 out of the last 19 Fridays have been up days. I don't give a fuck. Free Fall Friday coming in, baby. Free Fall Friday incoming. That's all that matters. If I hope enough and smoke my hopium enough, it will come eventually. Okay? That's all that matters. Robinhood is up 20% premium on people's orders for Reddit. Oh, wait. I completely forgot about those possible sympathy trades on Reddit. I mean, they're not really sympathy trades, but possible sympathy bleeders over here. I guess a lot of people may be moving their money from AMC and GME to RDDT because it's a way better investment. I mean, I would do it if I was an AMC GME monkey. I never was. I never was an AMC ape or a GME ape. But if I was, after seeing my money dissipate, after seeing them getting burnt, whatever money is left, I would move into the company or the product that actually allowed me to see those articles and so on. So, you know, I might see. I really love to see Reddit get bought up. I'm a big Reddit user. I guess I should say a shadow Reddit user, but I'm a big Reddit user and I love that product so much. It actually makes me happy. It's almost as happy as seeing Discord going public, because I use Discord almost 24/7. As soon as I wake up, that's the first thing I'm looking at. I'm looking at people's messages. I'm looking at my automated channels for my news integrations, for my watch list alerts and whatever. So I have just everything set up in my private server. All I do is wake up and just go through my server instead of having to actually go and scrape through, CNBC and look for the article for their watch list, go through this website, look for their article, do this and do that. So if Discord goes public, that makes me very, very happy too. That makes me I would want to look for a way to invest in Discord, and it'll actually be cool if Discord does something like Reddit, where if you were like a long-term Nitro supporter, you get X amount of shares or something. Come on, Discord, do something cool like that. That would be awesome, would it not? But at the moment, Reddit making a nice little IPO and moving around to the upside, making it close at $50, which was right where VWAP is. But yeah, 57 is actually where it went, almost $58 almost. Jeez. That's insane. Dreams are nice. Yes, dreams are nice. You're right. I'm not gonna say anything to that. Dreams are what we need, okay? Dreams are what people need to keep existing. Humanity cannot continue without a dream. A dream to land on Mars. A dream to revisit Moon. The dream is what it takes. And I dream that one day I'll actually be a good trader. Anyways, stop with the drama. Let's get with the market. Let's get the party started. Let's talk about NKE, baby. NKE moving around today in the after hours from the earnings report, sadly, to the downside from what I remember watching. Yeah, so it moved all the way to the upside, all the way back to the downside. We got a beautiful move on either directions, but sadly, overall, looks like the resolution at the moment I'm gonna call it for the moment, resolution is to the downside on the earnings report. So why don't we go deep dive into the report a little bit by using our friends Benzinga. So loading up Benzinga real quick, and let's see what the article is. If you are interested in amazing tools that I use for day trading, check out my links down below, such as Benzinga that you're watching right now on your screen. Benzinga coming out with their earnings report. Let's read about it. Nike reported third quarter revenue of 12.42 billion, which was slightly up year to year, with the revenue total beat consensus estimates of 12.28. So that's a pretty decent beat, not like a crazy beat, but okay beat. Nike reported earnings per share of 98 cents compared to the estimates of 74 cents. That's a decent beat. The company reported that Nike direct revenue was up 5.4 billion. What the hell is that? Is that like their credit card or something? Nike direct revenue? Okay. Or is that like their way of saying like direct revenue, like directly from sales type of revenue or something? Nike brand digital sales were down overall 3%. Wholesale revenue was up 3% year over year. The Nike brand had about X amount of money sales, which was up 2% year over year. Converse, they own the Converse brand. I didn't know that. Converse brand revenue came in around that much, and then the quarter was down 19% for Converse, clearly failing, bringing down the brand, not doing what the Jordan brand is able to do apparently, and bringing it down. We are making necessary adjustments to drive the Nike's next chapter of growth, says the CEO. The company ended the quarter with cash and equivalents of 10 billion. What's next? Can I see the outlook? I don't see outlook anywhere. That makes me a little bit upset. Executives highlighted the future of the company during the earnings report. We're encouraged by the progress we've seen, and we've built a multi-year cycle of new innovation, sharpen our brand and storytelling with our wholesale partners to elevate and grow the marketplace. And you're basically talking about more LeBron James. You're gonna try and turn LeBron James into the next Jordan or whatever, right? So they're gonna try their best, but I guess right now with the Yeezy, with Adidas, with the even Under Armour and Nike not being able to sign Stephen Curry back in the day, might have actually affected their sales quite a bit, and clearly today their earnings report not looking so bright. Overall shares did go up 2% at the time of the report, but we are watching the aftermath on the report here. It actually looks like it got rejected pretty decently off one of the previous earnings anchor VWAP and the other earning VWAP over here, anchor VWAP, which is 52-week low. I'm guessing this one probably the volume of this candle probably overtakes the 52-week low, honestly. And it overshadows it. And at this point, we're just watching this one take place, which is, you know, the previous earnings anchor VWAP come into play, where the rejection is taking place on the stock and a clear pushback down. Looks like there's a seller, and that seller is very active. They're not happy with what they saw on the report here for Nike, ladies and gentlemen. So let's actually zoom out on this chart a little bit. Go to the 60-minute time frame. And put some levels out that we might be interested in. That looks like something I might be interested in, right around, what is that price? $97. Let's delete all these green lines because we don't use that color anymore. I saw some color going on. Wait, what the hell? Never mind. I'm tripping. Okay, so this is a 60-minute time frame for anyone who just came in. We're talking about Nike. Nike just had earnings report and they flushed to the downside. Well, I guess I shouldn't say flushed like that, but they did move to the downside, sadly. So we're scoping out for some possible levels of interest here, where the stock could move down to. I mean, it did move down, so now we're waiting to see where the supports could come. Maybe we could go long, because the report wasn't that bad, but wasn't that good either at the same time. So overall, the stock market's about the future. It's about the guidance. It's about the forecast. We currently don't see the forecast on Benzinga. Let me actually, you know, click on a couple other links here to see if I can see a forecast. I sadly do not. Oh, shares are trading. No, I don't see a forecast, sadly. Gifted one membership. Thank you, Mikey Crahan, for gifting Dieter a membership to the TraderPrad family. You're awesome, Mikey. What'd you trade today, brother? What did you trade today, and what did you absolutely smoke? I can't hear. Oh yeah, was today the day you had like 5 out of 5 or 10 out of 10 green days, or was it yesterday? I forgot. He's a real boy now. Mikey has been the homie for a long time, man. This guy sent me shoes. My first ever gift from a viewer was from Mikey, and he sent me a Jordan. Pretty awesome Jordans, and he wants to send me more shoes, but I told him no, don't send me shoes, just become a subscriber or a member on my stream and I'll just love you forever. And he did that, and not only that, he's now gifting people. Shout out to Mikey, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Mikey coming back to the market though. Mikey, congratulations on the 7 out of 7 green days, both back-to-back days. You're a monster. You're killing it right now. I love it, brother. I love it. Hopefully I can catch some of that Florida juice, the secret juice that Paulo Costa, I almost said Randy Costa, I don't know why. That Paulo Costa secret juice that you've been sipping on, and get that same success. But Nike over here, let's quickly go back to the 5-minute chart and turn back on regular trading hours. See if some of our levels came into play, and look like it did right to that penny. Wow. Looks like that came right to that penny, right into that 93.50 area, 93.60, 93.50, and now we have some levels that we could possibly play with and see how the stock reacts on a move up, on a move down in the pre-market. How are we playing between this 97 to 93 range in the pre-market? Is the stock actually able to get back above 97 and hold above 97, at which point we can look for a move back through today's low, and maybe we top out around today's high or top out around where the stock already saw some selling. So you're watching that area over there, looking to see what happens. Whoop, I hear another Angry Buddha. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. I was supposed to do a couple things today and I completely forgot. I was supposed to set up a hotline, a phone hotline for people to call into, and we could talk about trading. But I also was supposed to set up some funny member and donation alerts, so it's not such a stupid bland dono alerts. I'll do that on the weekend. But Angry Buddha, I'm a real now too. You've been real, bro. You've been helping me, making clips, sending me videos and all that funny stuff for me to edit and you know, make some maybe a career for myself. I wouldn't be able to do that without your help, my guy. I mean, all of you guys in here have been big help for me, so I appreciate all the love and support you guys have been throwing me. Stop putting dots on your charts, Prad. Focus. But talking about Nike here, because I want to move on and not be stuck on the stock for 30 minutes. Looking to see what happens between these ranges. How does the stock play out between these ranges in pre-market? And I think if we do break this 93.50 tomorrow, we have a nice little move into this 89, 88.50 zone to keep an eye out for. That's actually a gap closer and right back into the 52-week low right there. Let's fix the chart a little bit. Right back into the 52-week low right there if we do break that 93 area, in my opinion. So it will be nice to see what happens. We actually dropped right into the previous earnings low. So breaking that previous earnings low, I think we easily got a nice move down over here to keep an eye out for. So keeping that 93.50 on watch. Under 93.50, I'm watching that 90 to 88.50. I know it says 89.71, but I'm rounding it that up to 90, and I'm rounding 88.67 down to 88.50. Sorry. As for resistances, since the stock right now is currently at 90.50 at the bottom and between 90.50 and $97, I'm gonna put in $97 as resistance now, but these might change tomorrow in pre-market depending on where the stock is playing. I honestly think there's a good chance that the stock keeps on finding support over 93 in the pre-market and manages to go back above 97, at which point we might have to watch today's low or today's high as some sort of resistance areas instead. So you're looking to see what happens on Nike in the pre-market, and that's very, very important. I guess that's also going to be the same story for the next few stocks that we're going to talk about over here, which also reported earnings. Yes, the stock reported earnings and they already moved around, but it's going to be very important for a day trader to see what structure sets up in pre-market, what levels are being offered right off the open, and how can we trade off of them throughout the day, right? Throughout the day. So Lululemon right now, as we already mentioned, it went down, but the report looks pretty good. The report is pretty green, 5% beat on EPS, 0.3% beat on revenue. So let's bring in our good friend Benzinga, load up Lulu. Why am I just noticing that? Lulu. If anyone's Indian in the chat, you know what I just said. Lulu. I'm not a child, I promise. I'm about to turn 30 soon. I'm not a child, I promise. Lulu Athletics Inc. reported fourth quarter earnings Thursday after the market closed. Here's a look at the key metrics. Q4 earnings, Lulu. Now I can't forget it. Now I can't forget my own self saying Lulu. You're worse, you're a grown child. I said I'm not a child. All right. Revenue increased 16% year over year. That's pretty good, which beat the consensus according to Benzinga Pro. The company reported quarterly earnings of, that's a monster beat also. I mean, maybe not a monster, but a pretty decent beat on revenue. America's net, okay, they're talking about like the country maybe. Americas, so maybe that's Mexico, Canada, and America. Net revenue coming in increased 9% year over year. International revenue coming in up at 54% increase year over year. Comparable sales, that's comparable stores sales coming in at 12% year over year. What? So why did we drop today? So maybe something to do with the outlook. We'll find out very soon, Prad. Lululemon opened 25 new companies operated stores during the third quarter. That's pretty good. Bringing in total store counts up to 711. That's racist. Inventories were down, however, 9% at the end of the 2023 compared to 2022. The company ended the quarter with $2.2 billion in cash, up to $1.2 billion from end of 2022. During the fourth quarter, we saw continued momentum across our channels, geographies, and merchandise categories driven by our team around the world. As we step into 2024, we are focused on significant opportunities ahead for Lululemon as we navigate the dynamic retail environment deliver for our guests through innovative new products and brand activations. What does that even mean? Okay, Lululemon sees first quarter revenue in the range of 2.17 to 2.2 versus estimates of 2.25. There is the answer that we are looking for. Company anticipates first quarter earnings to be between 2.35 and 2.4 versus 2.5. That is not good. Full year revenue coming in at 10.7 to 10.8 compared to 9.61. Full year's okay, not that bad. They actually beat on the full year. $14 to 14.20 compared to 12.46. That's also not bad. So maybe just a rough quarter here for the outlook coming up for Lululemon. But overall, they're expecting to actually come out with a beat on the full year. So this report actually doesn't look that bad to me, in my opinion. Yes, the guidance is a little bit of a miss for the coming up quarter, but overall, wrong button, I apologize. Overall, we do have a sell that's, I don't think it warrants that big of a move based on the numbers that we just read out loud. So based on that, I'm gonna look for more long than shorts. I think there's a good enough room, and we've seen this on Lululemon exactly last earnings report. If we kind of go to 15-minute chart here, you can see on the last earnings report, I think this might have been it right there. Drops down, rips right back up to the north side the next day, makes a new high, goes into a new all-time high, and makes an insane run up and all that craziness. So here, just to show you on the daily chart, that was the day on the earnings day. On the earnings after hours, it drops down, but on that day itself, it runs into a new all-time high, and the next day it keeps running. So Lululemon was on an absolute heater then. So what's the chance that it doesn't do that again? There was a meme I found that, though. This is a pretty funny meme. Lululemon 2020 or Lululemon in Q3 and Lululemon in Q4. That's hilarious. Overall, though, that's the way the move played out. So now we have to go find some levels. We have to chart some levels over here. We got Apple in the chat. What's up, Apple? So children and pancakes. What? I laugh at my own jokes even though I have bad ones. You have to. You have to. If you don't laugh at your own jokes, how are you expecting to other people to laugh at your jokes? Are we down here at 440? I think we are, aren't we? Yeah, 420. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I just put it right in the middle here. Just park that level right in the middle. Fuck it. Park that bitch in the middle, dude. I don't want to. Right now I'm hesitating if I even want to put a level in this middle area over here. We'll figure it out later. Maybe that's something for me to figure out tomorrow. But right now, these are the levels that I'm possibly of interest for. Let's actually zoom back into the 5-minute chart. Yeah, it's a good thing that I didn't put a level in the middle then, huh? Because looks like that 420 level is coming into play tomorrow. Now, if Lululemon makes a recovery in the pre-market itself and is able to get back to 440, which is where the earnings anchored VWAP is, there might be some activity for us above it. But if it does not hold 440 on the north side, that's some good shorting opportunity right there. I'm not really sure what to do with this stock at the moment based on the move that we have and based on the report we saw. So a lot of this will depend in the pre-market. For now, right off the bat, I don't want to see the stock under 420. If it's under this 420 area, then I'm guessing there's a little bit more room all the way back down to this 380 zones. I mean, we could probably actually, it might be a good idea to do this right now. Let's turn on. There you go. As I expected. Ta-da! As I expected. I probably should have said it out loud first and then turned it on. So for the year to date, volume point of control, this is red line is where most of the volume was transacted for every single bar that you're seeing on the chart right now. Most of the volume transacted right around that 380 area. So there's a good chance that we go back to test the buyers in these zones. Whoever bought in the zone, their average price for the most part is right around 380. So a good amount of buying came in, and you can see that volume candle too. The stock hasn't traded that much amount of volume again for a long time. That was in October of 2023, 27 million shares. Not saying that today's activity on the earnings report will warrant that type of a move, but we'll see if it does move back into these areas. How does the player who played at this volume node behave? Looks like he actually sold, and then that got bought right back up anyways. But my point is, what happens over here in this zone? I don't want to see the stock going under 420 to begin with, but if it is under 420, you're looking at possibly 380 coming into play. So keep a watch. That's on a longer term period. I'm not saying that's going to happen in one day. The stock's ATR is $10. Maybe we see a $20 move on the day, but overall, look out to see what happens under 420. I think it opens up a lot of shakiness and question marks under that price. If it does manage to go back to 440, which is what I'm putting as resistance at the moment for myself, that's where the earnings anchored VWAP was. That's also where one of our other lines on the daily chart comes from. It's that low right there near 440. So if the stock is able to get back to 440 and actually reclaim that whole area, I think we got some move back into 460, 470, which is today's low on Lululemon. LULU. So watching what happens on the stock. Indian dad unhappy. You never tell what's going to happen. I don't know, beta. I don't know what the fucking happened. Okay, don't ask me. I'm not a pundit. Okay, I don't know. Am I racist for doing my own people's accent? Is that fucked up? I mean, I was born there. I can't be racist, right? I'm getting canceled tomorrow. I already know it. For all the stupid shit that I say, I'm 100% getting canceled. FedEx. Did you guys know FedEx has a arrow? FedEx CEO. I had to find a picture of him standing just so I could put it in the goddamn thing. It was so hard finding a picture of this guy. But FedEx logo. Did you guys know there's an arrow in the FedEx logo? And it's always pointing, like when you pull up to a FedEx office, it's always pointing to the direction of the entry of the office. That's the arrow right there. You see the arrow, chat? It's right between the E and the X. Isn't that pretty cool? That's pretty cool to do that. I guess it's not pointing to the arrow, but no, if you look at the entrance, it's telling you the entrance is to the right. Go to the entrance. It's to the right. FedEx, however, coming out with their earnings report today after hours, and the only other company that we really care about actually making a good move to the north side. FedEx making a monster move all the way into $300, 10 cents off of 300, but we're gonna say 300, and only $20 away from the all-time high. This stock, a boomer stock, let's be real, but it's making moves like it's not a boomer. So very, very exciting to see what happens on FedEx tomorrow. Can we get those pumps to the north side? Can we see that 320 coming into play? Can we get multiple ATR action? However, all these questions will only be answered tomorrow. At the moment, I think we see this. This is what's been happening with all the stocks that popped up and reported good. Pinduoduo, Micron. What's the other stock that reported good? I guess Nvidia is the only one that reported good and just ripped up. But every stock that's been reporting good and make this type of move in the after hours, all the way to the downside, just plummeting. So watching to see what happens over here on FDX tomorrow, especially in the pre-market. Once again, I keep saying that. I want to hammer that point in. Very important to see what happens in the pre-market. Can we get above 300 and start using 300 as a base? At that point, we can see the stock actually drawing the anchored VWAP, pulling that up to 300, and that would make a nice base for us to look for longs off of. But if we're not able to hold 300 as a base and we're actually a little choppy, then I would like to see the pullback into one of these other levels that we have on the daily chart, that 285 high, which the stock didn't spend that much time at. So even 270, 271 high comes into play. That could be a really good long opportunity off that area. So I'm going to put in 285.50 right now just to keep an eye out for that area in case it comes into play. We did have about almost a double top, almost a triple top coming into that price. So a little bit of action was spent there. So let's see if the stock can find some buying once again. But if not, then I think 271 or anywhere above 271, like 275, shows up for some buying. You're looking for that long on FedEx right off of that. This report looks pretty damn bullish and we haven't even read it. Am I putting dots on my goddamn charts again? Okay. Okay, maybe it does not look as bullish as that. It actually missed on the revenue by 1% and beat on the EPS by 12%. So maybe it's not as bullish, Brad. Maybe we actually need to take a look at the report. Let's take a look at the report, chat. FDX. Bring in Benzinga. Why is, oh yeah, UPS moves also because UPS and FedEx basically the same company. FedEx Corporation shares are up after the company reported blah 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 blah. We already saw the earnings. EPS was up and revenue was down. So let's move on from that part also. Board of directors authorized a new $5 billion repurchase. That's probably a good reason why it moved up. And the company plans a 500 million share repurchase in the fourth quarter. Okay. The FedEx delivered another quarter of improved profitability in what remains a difficult demand environment, reflecting outstanding services and continued benefits, says Raj Subramaniam. We are making meaningful progress on our transformation while strengthening our value proposition, or maybe I should say in his accent, probably he's Indian. No, I'm joking. Value proposition and improving the customer experience. I've never been more confident in our path and ahead as we build more flexible, efficient, and intelligent networks. Ahead in the print, Stifel analyst J. Bruce Chan maintained a buy rating of FedEx and lowered the price from lowered the price target from 305 to 290, and we basically hit 299 today. Why would you lower the price target on a good earnings report, you asshole? FedEx updates the fiscal year 2024 guidance to earnings between 17.25 to 18.25 per share. The company also said it expects the permanent cost reduction from its Drive transformation program of 1.8 billion. Drive is having a real impact, supporting both operating income growth and margin expansion, said the CEO. That's not the CEO. Oh, CFO. As we look ahead, we are focused on continuing to deliver on Drive and commitments to support long-term shareholders' return. Overall, I don't think the report is as bullish as we're seeing it. We're seeing a pullback tomorrow. I mean, 11% B and a 13% increase. Okay, 1.5% decrease. Oh, look at that. 1.5% decrease over sales. But a repurchase program kicked off this move to the north side. Yeah, I'm actually not seeing anything that gives us a move to the new all-time high. I think we got a clear ceiling here, a clear wall. I think it might be that actually the analyst, the stifle analyst who's selling the crap out of this position at the moment, because he did lower the target from 300 to 290. So if the stock goes above 300, he's probably getting fired for even giving that damn quote. So we'll watch what happens at 300 tomorrow. Very, very important of a level on 300. Maybe pre-market we actually break it, go into 320 and then reject 320. So obviously watching to see how the stock behaves above 300 all the way up into that $320 price. But if we don't even break above here, I think we got a beautiful short right back into 270s, at which point we can look to flip long, because the report wasn't like extremely bearish either, where they're not growing or anything, right? They just missed on revenue slightly, and they're missing on sales year to year slightly too. They're dropping on sales slightly, but that could just be because of, like, you know, the whole I mean, can COVID still be used as an excuse? Maybe not, but overall the whole COVID thing and so on. So if FDX making a nice move up, but the report's not really that banger of a report, FDX will go up tomorrow, but maybe not close higher. Yeah, I mean, 320 is the all-time high. We'll see what happens at 320. If it does go at 320, I don't see anything higher than 320 really coming into play on FDX. I could be wrong though, but if I am, that just sets up for a beautiful long through 300 to 320. If we're already at 320, sets up for a beautiful short there, or a monster long through 320 for another opportunity to see a stock go through all-time highs. So lots of plays over here that could set up, and actually, I'm thinking about it right now. This could set up for a beautiful breakout of all-time high, and then a re-entry through all-time high back to the downside, which we've actually playbooked multiple times. Uber did that not too long ago. I think I can actually pull up my playbook real quick. Let me go to my playbooks. Actually, not the playbook. Go to my trade write-ups. My trade write-ups. All JPM. It was JPM and Uber. There we go. And Microsoft. So, view site, Uber, JPM, view site, come on, and Microsoft, view site. Okay, close that. So here we go. Let's take a look at these trades. This is how I traded the Microsoft all-time high breakout when it came into play, back on its day, however. So took the long, got some out, added on the flag breakout, saw the stalling come in, got stopped out, got short on the re-entry back through that all-time high. I added over here, but then I chickened out of the trade. However, it was a much banger trade to the downside. We also have, you know, possibly how could you have traded the stock better? It gave you multiple opportunities throughout the day to re-enter this trade. This was the 1-minute chart. This is the 5-minute chart. You can see how much better patterns came into play on did I say Microsoft? Sorry, Meta all-time high, breaking that move and then re-entering back through that all-time high. So I did name this Microsoft, though. I need to relabel this to META, not my MSFT. But you guys get the idea. That's trade one over there. Let's show you another one. JPM, this is the one that we actually did not catch. And Uber was also the one that we did not catch. But thankfully, we playbooked both of these. And that helped us catch the one that actually came into play, which was Meta. So Uber broke that all-time high, ran up to the north side, saw some stalling coming into play, then gave you some opportunities to get short into the perfect spot, but you could have gotten short on the re-entry back through that all-time high. Here's some possible setups that you could have pulled off on, how you set up for it, how do you set up for your shorts, so your stops, and how do you look for taking profits and so on. Not really looking to squeeze the most out of the trade. You can see how I enter on a little bit of a confirmation pattern, and then I exit on a reason to exit, not really looking to juice the most out of the trade, really playbooking on how maybe I would have liked to traded this stock. So overall, we did Uber first, then we playbooked JPM, same thing. JPM, I think this was earnings day or some news catalyst, broke into all-time high in pre-market, set up for a nice little breakout. That 175 was a nice pre-market high, all-time high breakout, went up to 176, set up for a beautiful short for the rest of the day. So looking for some possibility of a trade over there on FDX if we do get into 320, because that report, in my opinion, doesn't warrant that stock to continue going above 320. I think we see a break at 320 if it does come into play, but then if we do see break at 320, I think we break back under 320 and go back to 300. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but let's see what happens tomorrow. Micron making a little bit of a sad move right off the open. This is why I was you know, a little salty for the other stock that we were talking about. Well, I think, was it FedEx? Yeah, FedEx. Any stock that has been making a little bit of a pop, sadly, has been selling off. I guess it didn't sell off as hard as I was exaggerating. Micron didn't sell off as hard as Pinduoduo, but overall, it did freaking sell off, okay? Where's my... There it is. It did sell off at the end of the day, but still positive 14%. Still positive 14%, and actually found support at that 108 area that we were talking about last night. So right here, 108 area, we were talking about it. It found support in the 109, 108 area, and you were able to find some longs if you were looking for it. That, however, looked like a little bit of a bear flag, but that bear flag didn't play out, and the resolution ended up to the north side, but still an active seller in this area on Micron. So for those of you watching, it's currently trying to make I think it's trying to see what the market's doing, honestly, because if the market, meaning QQQ in terms of the market, if the QQQ wants to wake up and actually stay above its all-time high, then we could possibly see Micron carrying its own weight over here and marching right back up. Pinduoduo, my goodness. Wow. Yeah, so that's a monster short on Pinduoduo. Imagine you shorted it over here and you're still holding it. Wow. That's insane. Yeah, Pinduoduo got absolutely smackarooskied. Watch out for that one. Let's talk about Guess. Guess actually made a beautiful move to the north side of the earnings report. However, this is a boomer stock and barely brings in any volume on earnings days. Maybe a little bit of a spike on volume, but you can see how the very next day the volume dies down and the stock just goes to zero. But the level that the stock popped to makes it that much more interesting. So let's go to the monthly chart where each candle is 1 month worth of information. That high right there, 2021 high, came into play today on GES. We actually broke above that 2021 high and we're able to find buyers above there and continue to stay above there. Anytime Guess would flush, pull back into that 2021 high, we bounce right off of it every single time. So this area is pretty interesting. You're looking to see what happens. Oop, excuse the garage door being open. You're looking to see what happens on Guess right into today's low, all the way 2021 high to see if any buying can continue to come in on these areas, and that could set up for a good long. You can see how yesterday's VWAP is actually coming in into today's low too, so that's even more of a reason why I'll look for a long all the way down to 30.50 from $31. So guess actually is possibly something that could set up for a multi-day swing trade for those of you interested in it. As long as it doesn't break $30 to the downside, it's a great long. As long as it does break $30, and if you want to get short, you can get short here. As long as it doesn't break 32, you're loving it. Or you can just wait for the stock to break 30 and get short on the break of 30 to the downside, and then ride it all the way back into $25 for a nice little swing trade for those of you who have the ability to short it. So watching this stock over here from 31 to 30.50 to the downside on guess, but I'm saying 30 because that's where I think most of the stops might be for anyone who punched long in these areas. Their stops might be at $30. People like to play on the even dollars. People are simple, you know, not much common sense in people. You can look at Ani, the way she talks sometimes. I'm joking. I love you, Ani. I'm just making fun of you because you make fun of me, okay? Hopefully you don't get upset the same way I don't get upset. All right, crazy FedEx, the freight market stinks, says Swimmer. I mean, I have no opinion on that stuff. I know when I used to Amazon Prime all the way, everything back in the day, FedEx, UPS, and all of them used to hook me up, baby. So I can't complain. Overall, yeah, I got no opinions on them. All I care is about where's the money being flown into and how can I trade them. Where's the money flowing and how can I trade them? That's all I care about. Only two things that matter in the Pratty Daddy world. And speaking of which, Reddit, sadly, looks like the money flows, but sometimes to the downside. I don't know what seller came in, why they're selling, you paper-handed beep. Reddit IPO'd at 6 billion. Maybe it opened at 8 billion, maybe less. I don't, do the math. The stock once had a $10 billion evaluation that it sold or did a raising for. $804 million revenue in 2023 in one quarter. How's that possible? What smokes, blowing smoke up my ass? That's a lie, dude. That's a fucking lie. That's the whole year. But you lost this year. How does that work? Oh, that's earnings and that's revenue. That's cancelable, what I just did too. Don't cancel me, guys. Okay. But yeah, they did a $10 billion valuation raising at one point. So I think there's a lot of room to the upside. You're waiting to see if any good levels show up tomorrow. If a big buyer can show up like they did at 45 today. If a big buyer can show up at the IPO open price, which is right here. If a big buyer can show up at the that's not the IPO low. Today's the IPO low. So the IPO open price, can a big buyer show up and can we have some fun with it at that point? Right now, the IPO open was the perfect spot for you to get short and ride it into the lower day, and once again that's where it rejected later on. So it looks like that IPO open price will be a little important tomorrow going into. We'll see what happens. Also right around where the VWAP is right now on Reddit. Coco, you're talking about my dog Coco? Yeah, he's getting happy that my mom and dad just got home. He's barking, he's happy, he's excited. He already got his walk today though, so no more walk for him. And god damn, is it cold outside, dude. It is freaking cold outside. All right. Let's see what the chat's talking about. Pre-market dumping on retail. Snap? Oh, you're talking about, oh, Snap. Crazy FedEx, we talked about that. FedEx stock buyback helped. 100% that helped. COVID could be a nice flush from all-time high. That's damn right, Angry Buddha. Your GitLab still moving up. Sadly, didn't have the liquidity to trade it today. GitLab is moving up. Whoa, wow. Let's go. That's what we like to see. So like I mentioned, you could go long right here, somewhere in this area with the stop down there. But if it breaks that, you walk away. Now, I don't got no crystal ball. That's a lie. I got two of them, but they're only for me. Technically, I am a financial advisor, but not for you. So everything I say is not financial advice, but that trade did end up working the same way the Dell trade ended up working. Look where Dell closed today as the high. The earnings anchored VWAP, the very same price that your boy TraderPrad called out, 116, which also actually happens to be that area right there, which we closed at today. That's pretty surprising. Math, right? Simple math, baby. Science. So numbers just work that way. Market just moves like that. People think, markets are rigged all the time, but no, markets they just move that way. Maybe we can close this alert now because that alert is no longer needed. Yes, cancel that alert. So Dell making a beautiful reversal back to the upside, that 105 area holding like an absolute rock, and the partnership with Nvidia coming into play. Now the question is, whoever sold when their average price is coming into test, what does Dell do? Do we find more selling in this area? Basically, this whole pocket of a range from 116 to 120. Is that 120? Yeah, 120. You want to see what happens on Dell. Do we find some selling yet again in this area? Or is the stock actually able to get back above the earnings anchor VWAP and start holding above these ranges now? I don't think we should see 105 anytime soon. If we do see 109, honestly, that's not that big of a deal. 109 could come into play and we find support again, and I'm okay with that, but I don't want to see it go below 109 and going back into 105. If we're back into this range, then this move over here is almost fugazi in my opinion. So you're watching to see what happens on Dell going to the north side. BTC USD hanging out near the 65k right now. I think that FOMC move helped it out, but right now the Bitcoin momentum has taken some rest. The jet engines are cooling down. At least the booster rockets are not returning, right? At least the SpaceX booster rockets are not returning and landing on Gravitas, a short of landfall drone ship that they have. I'm pretty sure I nailed that name right there. Absolutely nailed it. Hopefully I got it right. But overall, the idea is the market's chilling out. It's calming down, and that's a good thing. As long as it doesn't go crazy again and start selling back down. That's all we care about. So it's chilling out. It's calming down. Let's see what happens with the whole Bitcoin halving. Right now, it's also giving some pause, a little bit of a breather for some of these positions, such as Coinbase, Mara, Riot. They all moved along yesterday. They all bumped to the north side yesterday. Riot got upgraded, so Coinbase Riot moved up, Mara moved up. Obviously, Bitcoin going back up to almost 70k helped the cause for these stocks to go up too. But right now, with the market cooling down, I think these stocks are warranted to keep on the watch list, but no real reason to go out of your way and look for a play. Ooh, whoa, I'm rhyming over here. Rhyming Prad over here. No reason to go out of your way to make a play. I'm not gonna go on with that one. Moving on to the next stock over here, Amazon. Amazon did break that 180 today, but no follow through about that 180. Sadly, no damn follow through above that 180. Coming back right back to the downside. I guess part of this was actually the QQQ's fault. QQQ breaks all-time high, doesn't really do too much, hangs out in that area, so Amazon doesn't end up having that follow through. Amazon still a little bit shy from the all-time high. Where's the beats at, yo? Still a little bit shy from the all-time high. Goes Amazon. No, I'm done. I'll stop. Cringe. Cringe. A-Lab. We forgot to talk about A-Lab when we're talking about IPOs. This is... Why are we on the... Shouldn't we see 2 days worth of information for A-Lab? It's been 2 days now. Hello? Why are we only seeing 1 day worth of information? It's been 2 days for A-Lab, sir. However, you guys get the idea. A-Lab making that beautiful move into $80. What are we talking about? Stock IPO at 50. That's a ton of exit liquidity taking activity. Anyone who got A-Lab shares at $10, $20, $30, and they don't have a lockup period, they're exiting at $80. Imagine you're an employee who got the shares at $5. You're telling me you're not exiting at $80? That's insane. So the fact that the stock even pushed up there is wild to me. This is just the whole semiconductor AI craziness kind of catching along. We don't even know what the company truly does, for goddamn it. So this is insane. The fact that this stock wants to do what like AMD prices, almost what Micron's prices. So that's wild to me. But let's see what happens right now. A little bit of snap goes back to reality, back to the downside, right back into the IPO anchor VWAP, which actually we need to recolor into the peach color. Recolor into that peach. I get my peaches from California. Oh yeah, shit. All right, so we got the IPO anchored VWAP coming in for some support, which also actually ends up being yesterday's high. Yesterday's high slash ends up being today's low slash IPO anchored VWAP. So a lot of reasons to see what happens into the 63.50 area tomorrow on this position for ALAB, and I don't want to see that 80 coming into play. I think that's insane that stock even did this. How much volume did you pull in today? 11 million is actually not bad at all. Hopefully it wasn't as dirty as it was yesterday, because it was just way too spready. It was like a dollar spread at one point almost. I forgot to put some levels on Reddit on my watch list, so let me quickly go back to Reddit. You're watching that 45 level low today. You're watching that inflection zone of 51.70. Let's just say 52 as your inflection zone, because that's the opening range, opening price of the IPO. And then you're looking at today's high, which is around 57.80 as the resistance, because I think we'll see the stock either going higher all the way up there or going all the way back down. I honestly don't want to see the stock going down. It'll be a little sad. You know how much we love Reddit. So Reddit, please just keep rocking back to the high side. I'm trying to see through the watch list if we can find any other plays that we might want to be quickly on a brush through before we go watch the video for tonight. Microsoft, obviously, guys, at the QQQ, if the S&P 500 continue to keep rallying up, as one of the viewers who came in and mentioned Dundee was his name, something Dundee. He mentioned that the market only has 14 up days in the last 16. Who gives a shit? Okay, all that matters is what happens tomorrow. All that matters is actually if the market moves tomorrow or not. Period. And if it actually moves tomorrow, let's see it move in up or down, not stay stagnant. I don't want to see it hanging out in these ranges. That is boring. I don't want to see that. I want to see the stock or the market at least go all the way back down, or actually continue ripping up and see one of those insane days that we had on the market not too long ago. I think this was that day when the market ended up 1.5% to the upside, actually breaking the all-time high, and then we started consolidating a little bit. Let's see one of those days on the market. If not, then I want to see this day. I want to see a down 1.5% day where we just absolutely flush to the downside. So come on, do something at the very least. At least the SPY is actually hanging out near the all-time high. It didn't re-enter the previous ranges. SPY is looking to chill out a bit. Something that my manager actually mentioned that he noticed today happened for the first time ever in his lifetime of trading, which was the S&P 500 actually hit the day's high when the QQQ actually hit the day's low. I'm not sure if that's the first time that ever happened. Maybe it's the first time he's ever noticed, but that's a pretty interesting observation, right? Pretty interesting way to even notice that. I don't think I even noticed that. I wasn't even looking out for that, but understanding the concept behind it is like, okay, one market's ridiculously strong. The other one's kind of like, okay, we don't really know what we want to do. Part of that is maybe because the DOJ is going against Apple for Apple iPhone monopoly. iPhone monopoly, what are we talking about over here? But Apple being, pursued by the DOJ, back to the downside goes Apple, sadly. So that one possibly gives you some trades tomorrow. Keep this bad boy on the watch list. You're looking to see what happens right back into that 168.50, 170 areas on Apple. If we do happen to go find some bottoms into 170, that would be good. But based on what's happening right now, not looking good. And if Apple's pulling back, its new partner in crime, who's going to put Gemini in all their phones, is also going to pull back to the downside. it's a Google flushing over here. And if Google's flushing, not saying that Microsoft has to flush, but Microsoft couldn't really do too much, but just hung out in the higher end area. Overall, I think semiconductors had a pretty good day today, but the market not really helping them out either. Meta pulled back a little bit, if I remember correctly. Meta ended up being positive too, but Meta did pull back from the highs. Tesla being a little bit weak still. So if the Magnificent Seven is very confused, and out of the ones that are green are barely green, and out of the ones that are red are deep red, that doesn't really, you know, fit the bullish case for the QQQ to continue going to all-time high. That doesn't fit the bullish case for the market to keep rallying. So I am expecting a little bit of a pullback tomorrow on the market. If it does, we got some beautiful short opportunities. We got the SPY re-entering the previous all-time high. A couple of the plays that we just showed you on the charts, on the write-ups, that could possibly set up tomorrow. But if the market gets bought back up, if Apple finds some buying into 170, if some of the other stocks that we just mentioned in the large cap actually find some buyings too, then maybe we actually see that insane rally. FOMC was dovish. People are bullish. People are ready to put their money, their capital to work. So all things are possible. The only thing I don't want to see is, once again, a boring sideways action, range action. I'll fall asleep to that range action. Please don't do that anymore. Apple at $58 says Doom. Doom is a I wonder, I see why your name is Doom now. Prad, what color is the Lambo? I don't have a Lambo, but if I do get one, now Lambos are for kids, bro. I'm not a child. This is what a man drives. Okay, maybe not this, because this one would hurt you to freaking drive around in. But the Singer cars are beautiful. Singer makes some amazing Porsches. Singer makes some amazing looking Porsches, amazing driving Porsches. Porsche. Whoever wants to be fancy or whatnot, but Porsches are my sweetheart. Porsches are my sweetheart. Right now, Porsches don't exist in, sadly, the Formula One. So my sweetheart at the moment is McLaren and Mercedes. McLaren because they were partnered with Mercedes at one point, and eventually they broke up. McLaren being one of the best supercars ever to exist. Period. The McLaren F1. My older brother introduced me my first ever speed car that I ever got to see in a game, in a screen, in a TV show, whatever the hell you want to call it, was this one. And it was fascinating to me because you sit in the middle and your passengers sit behind you on either side. So you're like driving like a cockpit. That's right, I said cockpit. One of the best cars ever. This is actually the first car that Elon Musk bought after selling what was previously X.com. Previously X.com. Previously X.com was PayPal. So there you see, X.com was previously PayPal. Sold the company. X.com became PayPal, and now X.com became back under his control, which actually never sold. Back under his control is now, you see what it is. So it's actually a bank. What the hell are you talking about? Oh yeah, it is a bank. That makes sense because it got sold to PayPal. That's right. I should tell my manager that. We were talking about this a little bit with my manager as to, you know, how Elon Musk wants to turn X.com as the whole one-stop shop platform. And he was like, X will do payments because WeChat does payments. I almost forgot for a second in that conversation that X.com was actually a payment bank. They're a registered bank. And they did payment transfers and everything like PayPal did. That was his first company. That's the first thing that he knew how to do. He actually coded it himself. So So of course he can do that. So more for reason for now. I'm just having an own internal conversation that for a conversation that I might have tomorrow with my boss if I remember. I'm going crazy. But what I wanted to show you was when Elon Musk sold X.com to PayPal, he bought his first ever car, McLaren F1, and that just made me like him a little bit more. This infamous picture where he's like, hello, with his girlfriend, obviously, not sure what number of iteration of a girlfriend that one was, but old school picture, McLaren F1. I mean, Elon knows what cars are, obviously, when you're buying a Formula 1, sorry, not Formula 1, when you're buying a McLaren F1. He knows what cars are, and he owns a goddamn car making company. So shout out to McLaren, shout out to Mercedes, but Porsches are my heart. If I could buy a supercar, McLaren. If I could buy a luxury car to drive every day, Porsche. If I would buy a car to just drive every day, still like a Porsche SUV or something. But that's me. Coming back to the market, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing really else left for me to talk about. So that's basically all she wrote for tomorrow in terms of my watch list. Let me just bring in that watch list. I did tell you I don't really care about most of these trades over here tomorrow, so I'm not going to put anything for notes. But the ones that I do care about, they're marked in orange. High priority. DEFCON 1 trades over here. We have 6 of them with high priority, and I'll keep a very, very close watch to see how these stocks trade in the pre-market. But more importantly, we have is the economic calendar. Papa Powell goes on the microphone at 9 o'clock. Why, bro? Reload the damn website. God damn it, there's no information on this? Did my internet die, chat? Usually clicking on these used to give information. Whee! Alright, whatever. March 22nd. Is my internet good or is my internet dead? Somebody please educate me. We got a super chat or something? I think we got a super chat. Who uses Wikipedia anymore? Boomer. Okay. So that's the person who's older than me. You're the boomer. Economic calendar. Fed Chair Powell going on at 9 o'clock on the microphone along with his homies, the FOMC and the big goon squad coming on the microphone at 12 o'clock p.m. So Papa Powell first, Barr second. Any other of the crazy people coming on afterwards? That one's actually at the closing time. So closing time. I don't care what you say at that moment. Yes. So we're watching what happens at Bostic at 1600. Which I think is closing, right? 4 o'clock at 1600. I was counting. That's right, I was counting. Overall, there's nothing really that busy tomorrow at all. We do have the Powell speaking or the FOMC members speaking throughout the day. That one doesn't matter. Those two do matter. So maybe right off the open, a little bit of importance tomorrow. But the economic calendar, very, very, very dead tomorrow. What does the IPO calendar look like? Hopefully, we got some more fun IPO setting up very soon. That one looks interesting. That one's Reddit, you dummy. Move on from that one. Small. Oh, that one's pretty big. Auna. That's tomorrow? Auna. That is tomorrow. Okay. I'm reloaded. I am reloaded. Research time. Let's find out what this stock does, ladies and gentlemen. Revenue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. $1 billion revenue? What the hell do you do? You barely have any underwriters. Is this Ani trying to go public? It says SA, so is this like a ADR? ADR of some sort? John F. Kennedy Luxembourg? Is this South African? Yeah, SA. Is that South African company? Holy, do I even try saying this, chat? Jesus Antonio Zamora Leon. That was actually pretty goddamn good. Sheesh. Jesus Antonio Zamora Leon. That was on point, yo. Hire me. Okay. What do these guys do? Please, for God's sake, don't say AI or microchips. Please. Healthcare systems, Spanish-speaking countries, Mexico, Peru, Colombia. Okay, Peru. Papa Peru. Oncology, traumatology, orthopedics, cardiology, neurology. Okay, our models. Oh, okay. Okay. AUNA. $13 to $15, coming out with 30 million shares. Deal size is 420 million. That's not that bad. That's honestly not that bad. The stock might be a low-key heater tomorrow, chat. Because we had two good IPOs, the stock actually might be a low-key heater. They're making money year to year. They're growing too. Obviously, the growth is diminishing a little bit, but they're still growing. Wait, didn't we just see their revenue for the latest year, and that was a little bit lower? So this year they came in with 2 billion. That was almost 2 billion. But didn't we see them just report? Yeah, okay, that does not look so good now, does it, Praddy? If that's the 2023 number that we just saw on that website, then that looks like the numbers are dropping a little bit more and more. So yeah, buddy. I mean, you might be growing, but you're not growing as much as I wanted to. The numbers are going down. But overall, I mean, the IPO looks pretty goddamn interesting. This might just be a low-key heater, ladies and gentlemen. You might want to put this on your watch list tomorrow. I'm going to actually put it on mine for sure. So AUNA, and we'll see how this one sets up. I'm going to color important orange, and yeah, I can't even check the stock's ATR. It hasn't moved at all, so there's no way to check ATR. Revenue 964 million, and if you go to Reddit, right? Like, the numbers actually look better than Reddit if you think about it. The stock is a low-key heater tomorrow. I'm telling you, it's a low-key heater. What was the shares outstanding for this one? 158 million for Auna. Shares outstanding, and they're only coming out with 30 million. I mean, this could really put some moves tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm excited. I hope you are. I hope you are. So this stock just got added to the watch list. But besides that, ladies and gentlemen, nothing really to get too excited for tomorrow. Let's see if the market can put some excitement, some pep in our step by actually making that all-time high breakout and keep running, or our pep in our step for actually crashing to the downside and then giving us a beautiful bear day for my bears to bask in glory, wake up out of hibernation. You know, winter's almost done. It's time for us to wake up and strike these goddamn bulls across their face and put them in reality. So we'll see what happens. But here's a screen for my link tree. Shout out to my link tree page. If you want to check out all of my socials, they're right up here. YouTube, X, Discord. That's my Discord server, absolutely free, $0. My Twitch, sometimes where I game on, you can possibly catch me there on Saturday. So come check me out on Twitch. My Instagram and TikTok, which is soon about to get banned, so you can either just follow that or not. The affiliate sponsors, go check them out too. Trader Sync and Trade Ideas. You can use code PRAD15 to get 15% off. That's a special promotion just for you from me, ladies and gentlemen. And last but not least, you can check out my Patreon, where you get some added benefits if you do choose to support me on Patreon. And you can also book me to do some crazy, wacky, funny stuff, whatever it is you want me to do, as long as it's not too wacky, on Cameo. But let's get to the educational part of the stream today. Let's get to the fun part. Let's get to the chicky nuggies, as the Redditors call them, the chicky nuggies of the day, baby. The chicky nuggies of the day. Maybe we could actually make that a segment and then ask for sponsors throughout the day. Let's go to the chicky nuggy segment of the day, baby, and let's learn something new. Before that, we're gonna have to pause the music. So thank you for the music today. Everything was awesome on that music end. Thank you. Let's actually scroll to the chat. Let's get caught up in the chat here. So I'm all the way to the downside. Let's see what the chat's quickly saying. The chat's saying they are close to my port total. Not sure what that means. Auna? Can I sue Auna for copying my name? You, the IRS, or what? They saving on tax, bruh. I mean, I'm not the popo, and nor am I a snitch. But sometimes you have to do your own deep dive. Okay, you gotta do. Where's my camp? Hello. Sometimes you gotta do the deep dives, right? And right now we're gonna do a deep dive on the upper decky and get this video ready. What do we want to watch today, chat? What you mean? You're a snitch? I'm not a snitch. You're mean. Stop hurting my feelings. Psych! I got no fucking feelings. You loser. What do I want to watch today? How to predict failed breakouts on momentum stocks. That actually sounds pretty interesting. MLGO trade review, trade recap. That sounds like a small cap. We could probably learn a little bit about small caps watching that. Warning, your 5 worst trading days every day. How to spot the trap before the breakout. A lesson in float rotation. You know what? That is actually something I want to learn.
Go over the trade from yesterday. I did do a video yesterday, but for some reason it got corrupted and
this is 2020.
So, what I wanted to go over is
4 years ago. I mean, it's probably relevant, but I want something a little bit newer, maybe. Probably something with the newer thumbnails, then, huh?
Alright, hey guys, welcome to another video. It's been about a month or so. I've been traveling, so been quite busy.
The one with the
just gonna go
puppets. What
over
puppets are you
what I
talking
thought
about?
Was a layup short trade, probably the best setup of the week last week.
Oh, maybe
yeah,
SMB Capital has a video for us.
/ liquidation. Alright, really quick, what is MLGO? Chinese hologram company. It's a D-SPAC. It's never filed or made their S1 effective.
A MACD scalping strategy. Do I even want to watch that video?
Right? The other name that comes to mind, if you look at those factors, obviously is Holo. And I'll show, MLG.
Now we're gonna stick to this one.
Right after its D-SPAC. Everyone should be
a D-SPAC trade. Okay.
It's been about a month or so. I've been traveling, so been quite busy. But today just gonna go over what I thought was a layup short trade, probably the best setup of the week last week. And yeah, gonna be going over MLGO, the parabolic short / liquidation. Alright, really quick, what is MLGO? Chinese hologram company. It's a D-SPAC. It's never filed or made their S1 effective. It's basically a fugazi-ass company. It's got a history of liquidating, right? The other name that comes to mind, if you look at those factors, obviously is Holo. MLGO did the same shit as Holo right after its D-SPAC. Everyone should be aware of this one in September.
I remember Holo.
If you aren't, you're probably living under a rock.
I remember Holo.
The gist of it. So MLGO, really quickly look at the daily. So it had that D-SPAC gap up, which they liquidated, which is this intraday chart here. Then it had that run back in September, which I'll go over in a sec, and then obviously this recent one here. So I mean, just looking at the chart, you can tell what kind of a name this is. If it takes you, if you need more than that, then it takes 2 seconds to figure out it's a Chinese company, and it's very simple. I don't think it's.
Why is this guy roasting me, bro?
What kind of name this is?
Maybe I don't trade this stock.
Or you
stop roasting me.
In the past couple months. But yeah. So then, here's that run up in September. So multi-day run up. They gapped it up off of a PR, I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong if they had a PR or not. And then they got this massive intraday move with a large blow off. And then they, obviously like liquidated it or, sold it off pretty hard. I think the key thing to know with these, you don't really have to be early. And the trend is your friend. It's pretty much quite simple in my opinion. And then another similar name, which is a similar move to this prior MLGO one, was MTC. So it had a multi-day run-up. Also Chinese, you know, had that big
China.
move, and then
China.
eventually liquidated it. So, you know, right now it should be pretty clear that MLGO, you know, always should be in the back of your mind that this is a name that, you know, can liquidate, can be a full round tripper, can retrace a move in a single day.
In the back of my
So
mind,
here's just
chat. Putting it in the back of the mind.
So I'll quickly
Plug,
look at the day one
capped,
first,
locked,
and
sealed.
why my thoughts are, and it was an easy avoid, and then we'll look at the day two, which I thought was a layup short. So obviously in the pre-market they put out a PR, bogus PR. Don't even have to, you know, look into it. But there just really wasn't much range. And if you look at all the other moves, all the other times it sold off hard, it had a big move. You know, it wasn't just, you know, a pop from 3 to 4 and then they sold it off, right? Also, the volume ran to the open is not much. I mean, doing 30, 40, 50K bars. This is obviously a 2-minute chart. You know, what can they really do with that? You know, I just don't see it, right? You know, we know this has a history of big and shitty moves. It's a manipulated Chinese name. You know, maybe, you know, people that like to short gappers, you know, maybe have a stab at it. But, you know, for me, this is not a good setup at all. And, you know, I didn't touch it at all this day. And then if you just look at the way it traded, right? I mean, it just respected levels so cleanly, right? You know, had that, you know, opening pull off, you know, wasn't really breaking down, reclaimed a key level from the pre-market, went sideways, broke out, held the key level from the pre-market, never breaking down, holding below it, blah, 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 same thing again, you know, always maintaining like a clean uptrend. And then, you know, had this big, large sideways consolidation after a big volume bar. And then you can see right before breaking out, volume just picked up. This looks like...
Why is Buddy talking like this into his microphone?
Which he went over.
God damn it.
But yeah, and then once we got this candle here...
He's like deep throated in the goddamn microphone, like holy shit.
A ton of volume. You know, this is worth watching in my opinion for them to turn on the jets on and potentially liquidate intraday. The only concern why I think, you know, it's less likely, it's just the time of day. It also never really had a really parabolic move, I would say, either. I mean, it just looks
up and coming pilot.
To me,
an ATC traffic user.
But, you know, with these, I'm always more comfortable being late than being early. And so I never touch it still.
Guten Tag, Davian. Yes, you could ask a question. But I say Davian, I meant Fabian.
A lot more interesting of a trade.
Guten Tag.
But yeah, and then, you know, continues to hold this uptrend, not breaking down and holding below prior levels, closes strong, and then that's that, right? To me, I know a lot of people got bent up short, but I think if you did, I think you just weren't really trading the chart in my opinion, because I think it just gave so many signs to not be short at all. Right, and then, you know, pulled it in the after hours, probably, you know, a good amount of people probably felt comfortable swinging it short, and then, you know, late into the after hours has this big move getting above prior highs, you know, nearly tripling in the space of a couple hours. So to me, when I saw this,
I'll answer your questions in a bit, David. I'm just watching this video. After this video, I'll answer your questions.
To now also a parabolic short setup with the potential to be liquidation. So it was a bit of a 2-in-1 setup.
I think Doom wanted the link of this video in the chat.
Coming into the open, I'm
here you go, Doom.
With these kind of names, it's just the way I like to trade. So, you know, I'll play these things with, you know, wider risk.
But let me
you know, the trend
keep
changes.
your question
so for me, in the
ready.
pre-market, I can see that there's definitely reasons to get involved. It's just not really my style. But I think when we come in and test.
Okay, so pre-market structure.
I think you can for sure put on a starter size.
Crazy price. You know, a little bit of better ranges.
You know, look to start positioning into it. Probably something I should have been more open to. I think.
And then failure to hold those levels.
But I didn't. And then for me,
retest and failure of the key level
so clear, like,
gives you opportunities to get short here.
You know,
with the stop here, gets you opportunity to get you short somewhere in this candle, but that's really illiquid because it's halting everywhere. You're not going to be having a chance to get in there, but that's a good spot to get in.
To me, that's like, okay, this name just failed, putting in a lower high against a key level. If this breaks under 13, I can put some short on because now I have like a stop, which makes sense. I don't have to risk, you know, shorting against 18, 19. So when it broke down this key level, it's like, okay, to me, that's now a change in trend, right? Because we're building at this range. You know, did good volume off the open, failure, to me, that's a lower high.
Yeah.
And now breaking below this range, to me, you know, I could put some short on and be comfortable with a stop.
Exactly.
So I started my short.
You could
down
start here somewhere
versus the
with
intraday
that,
high.
yeah, and then you can add
And,
here
for
and
me, it's
move
just
your
a patient
stop
game. I
down,
know that,
add here,
this
move your
has
stop
room a lot
down,
lower, so
and
I don't
keep
have to
pyramiding
rush
into
and
your
put myself
trade
in a
all
bad
the way
position.
down to
I'll show my executions in the
victory.
next chart and the next slide. But yeah, and then retest and filled off this key level. I was comfortable with the size I put on here, so I wasn't in a rush to add. But I think if you
You
didn't put
should.
anything earlier, we start rolling over. I think that's just like a clear spot to put some on.
Exactly.
It's not something you can play versus 13. I do think you still have to keep it wide. You just haven't seen enough signs. It's still too early.
Once it breaks that lower day, though,
Yeah,
you can bring
but then
that
once it
stop
starts
down to
breaking
here.
down, you can just see how clearly
Yeah.
that like a trend is forming. And
Yeah.
we'll go to a 5-minute chart. So like around this area, it's a big change. It's a clear change in my opinion.
Yeah.
That we're starting to trend down. And that was my sign to be
small
start thinking,
cap,
maybe now they're
squeezer,
but
bullshit
you still want
company,
a bit of more information.
low flow,
The next key level, the only really
squoze,
last key
time
level
to
I
short
had
the
was
shit out
10s,
of it to
which was,
oblivion, write it back down,
coming to
write it back all the way down to $0 basically.
I was, fine to be
Damn.
patient, to be shorting below there, or once it starts feeling under there, just knowing that this can go back down to 5, 6 easily, and when I do start scaling in, I can be lowering a stop, right, and trailing. And then came slowly into there. I think I started adding a little bit, just playing the trend, and then when we saw this push up, I covered like a tiny amount, more just so for risk management purposes. And then as soon as this failed, to me that's like the key moment that they're selling this, and I can really start to be adding and playing for the liquidation trade at this point, rather than just a parabolic short. If I was playing just a parabolic short setup, let's say this was a different type of ticker, I would have likely
It's just me, or there's like a squeaking noise in
but I
this
just know
video
that
every
this type
now
of
and
name,
then,
you
or is
can-
it my
you know,
dogs
the downside
squealing
is
outside of my door?
insane, and I think everyone's aware of what these can do, right?
You guys hear like a squeaking noise every now
But
and
yeah,
then in the
and then
video?
I'll show my executions and I'll go over some more thoughts. So just slowly adding, and then that was, yeah, sorry, I only have a 30-minute chart because my 1 minute, I didn't save it. And then once we had that push and failure, which is that green bar there, and make new lows, to me that was like
tripping
clear sign,
balls.
and that's when I started, adding.
No, I hear that
adding,
squeaking
some
noise in my
size,
headphones.
But, not really adding much more risk. I was more so lowering a
I
stop.
think it's the buddy's
And then
nostrils. His
at
nostrils
that
are
point,
making like a
anyone that knows these
whistling
names
noise
should,
when he's
focus on,
breathing.
like, trailing or have reasons to get out. So my issue coming into this one was I didn't really, I had a good imagination of what it could do, but I also thought that it was a bit trickier than some other setups, like knowing exactly where you should be covering or not. I thought the only target that made sense was coming into this key level from the breakout and into view up from the prior day. But I made a mistake of covering some early instead of just trailing, because these names just have such clean unwinds. You really should be trailing because you just don't know where they can go. So I covered I think a fourth or maybe a little bit more, which is that execution there, and that makes a big.
You guys don't hear the
difference
squeaks?
to your overall P&L. And then into view up here, I got down to just over half, and then I pretty much, these triangles were executions were not much, and then I pretty much covered the other half down here, and you can see just by me not having a good reasons to get out and covering a little bit early, it makes a huge difference to your P&L, right? So yeah, that's what I would say for MLGO. Not too much.
That's a beautiful trade though.
Coming into it, it was a layup short because you have both a parabolic setup.
$10 per share. I mean, that's insane.
In my opinion, respecting levels, and that's
beautiful trade.
Bit of a shorter one today.
Beautiful trade.
Any questions? Let me know.
Love it. Beautiful trade. Thank you, Investors Underground. You guys are glorious for the content you guys post. I'm so happy to have found you guys. It has been awesome watching their videos recently. Shout out to them. Go check them out on their channel, on Investors Underground. They even have their own chat. I want to give a shout out to one of these masterpieces that I saw today on the Think with Bookmap Discord. I mean, this pattern is the Free Fall Friday pattern. I mean, I don't really know how to read it, but I see a beautiful bear, and the bear is only pointing in 3 directions, either to the bear's hands, the bear's pee-pee line. I'm guessing that yellow line is the bear pee-pee line, and the red line is the bear's upper ball, and the below line is the bear's lower balls. So the bear phallus line And then the other target is the bear's foot line. So either the bear's hands, the bear's pee-pee, or the bear's feet. And the bear's gonna strike, chew, rip apart the bulls right back to the downside. I mean, that is the only pattern you want ever on any stock that you look at. So there you go. I mean, that's basically all we need to see for tomorrow. Free Fall Friday incoming. The bear on the chart has called it. The bear in my heart has been calling it for God knows how long. This is a bull market though, but we'll see if the bears wake up from this hibernation. It is about time to wake up from hibernation. However, tomorrow in Toronto, Canada, it is snowing, sadly. This whole week has been so ugly and cold, especially from last week when we had like 8-degree temperatures. Now that's Celsius. That's the real people math, not those stupid bullshit math numbers that you guys use in America. You know, -40 is cold. How about we say 0 is freezing and 100 is boiling? That makes simple sense. Or how about for speed? 0 is slow, not moving at all, and 100, you're moving fast. 0 to 100, no. Let's go to 0 to 60 because we're fancy and we're cool and we're Americans. Goddamn Americans, bro. Anyways, negative, like, it's been negative temperature this whole week. Ugly weather. And it's going to be snowing tomorrow. Even more uglier than that. I can't get to it. We do have a question we need to answer from our friend Davian. I almost forgot. David Fabian. You know what? I'm calling you Davian from now. That's it. You're Davian. Davian did ask us a question. I'm relatively new to this game. What do you say? I'm new to this game, and what do you say how important the market depth and the matrix, and which would you prefer? What the hell is the matrix? Are you talking about like the movie Matrix where you get plugged into the... Oh, sorry, I just woke up out of the Matrix, guys. I just know the secrets for all of the universe right now. The markets... I don't know the universe. I don't know the secrets. Hopefully, I don't say anything stupid that people actually make financial decisions off of. So I'm going to restrain on that just so I don't get sued. But yeah, I don't know about what you mean by the matrix. But in terms of the market depth, it's pretty important. Now, if you're a swing trader who's only trading like, you know, 1 or 2 contracts or like, you know, less than $25,000 worth of position in one trade at a time, I don't think it really matters for you that much knowing the market depth for a position, because you as a retail trader, as a small time trader, maybe you're taking, you know, 10 shares of SMCI or 5 shares of SMCI or something in a normal scale for a relative retail trader. So for that, market depth might not be important for you if you're swing trading or if you're investing. You just care about taking the size that you can in a normal price that you can, and then you're gonna hold it for a long period of time and get out. That's whatever. If you're doing that on small caps, then needing that liquidity, needing that market depth, seeing where that information might be a little bit more important for you. But if you're a day trader who's like me, you're trading, you know, Apple, Microsoft, everything. I need to see, for example, Reddit today. When Reddit dropped down to $45, there was an absolute bottom at 45. It was not able to go below 45. I was able to cast that long because of 2 reasons. A, the market depth. The market depth showed me how much buying pressure was on that level, holding that price up and not really letting it go down. B, was the amount of pressure that level was getting tested. It kept going down, it kept selling into 45, it would just not budge, it would not break 45, and then every time the selling pressure into 45 stops, it makes an insane run up above 45. That's the time of sales. That's looking at where the transactions are actually taking place at the very moment in relation to the market depth, in relation to the whole level 2, and making the whole trade strategy, putting a nice tight stop and so on. That whole comes into play when you're day trading, without a doubt. And actually a great tool and a great example that I can show you, the downside of the show honestly is the fact that we're not streaming live, but we do have a market that is 24/7, and we have a channel that streams this market 24/7. So let's say at a time like right now when the market's moving pretty damn slowly, right? Very, very illiquid market compared to during the open. You want to know where the sellers are and where the buyers are. This market depth is pretty important for you if you're day trading the overnight market. Right now, it looks like the sellers are holding the market from being able to go up too much higher. The buyers are there, but they're just kind of like, what the hell? They're just kind of like hanging around, not really doing too much. And you can see how the sellers are stacked up at the moment at 5, 3, 1, 2. So this market depth helps you make that decisions. Now this also helps you see if the stock market, for example the futures here, is able to burst through these sellers. Do we actually get filled, or do these sellers pull their orders? Do they pull their orders from the market and the market just goes higher, or are they actually taking that fill? After they take that fill, are we still continuing to see buying pressure coming in and continuing to go up, or are we seeing the buying pressure die out above this level and then the buy pressure kind of stops, and then we start seeing the selling coming in even harder? So all of these things, seeing the time of sales, which is basically these little bubbles that you're watching, and the market depth, which is the heat map, all of which are our amazing friends, I think, with Bookmap. Hit that like, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Go check them out. They are awesome. They help me out with everything. So go check them out over there. In my opinion, as a day trader, market depth, very important. You need to learn how to read that. You need to understand what's going on, and you need to absolutely hone those skills to the best of your ability that you can. Some of the tips for that would be record your screen in the moments where you are taking the trade, in the moments that you did not take a trade but want to take a trade. This happens a lot of time where actually you don't actually, for example, Reddit, right? You didn't really trade Reddit today, but if you just have Reddit open on your screen and it's just recording for you, you can watch that tape back the next day, the next year, the next 2 years, 4 years, the next time a big IPO comes out. You can watch this tape and you can kind of get an idea of what to look for, what to see on the market depth, what to see in the matrix and so on, and just get better that much better, 1% better every single day. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave on that note. It's 9:38 p.m. It's time for the outro. I'm pretty sure some of you you can't hear it when it's that low, huh? Let me see. That's a little bit better. So the outro is already playing. You guys know what to do. We are out for this week. We will not be back, sadly, for the rest of the week, but we will be back Sunday 6 p.m. But we are back Monday to Thursday 8 p.m. every single time. I wish every single one of you a monster Friday and an even better trading day tomorrow. Can't wait to see you guys on Sunday. Have a great weekend, and it's not Good Friday. So yeah, have a great weekend. I'll wish you guys Good Friday next week. Until then, ciao. TraderPrad out. Adios. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here, back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.